I think there's an exclamation mark right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath. Gonna bring y'all another, Lord's will, another edifying lesson out of the Word in these last days and perilous times as we try to get our spirits in order.
Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath. Grace and blessings from God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, be unto you. Let me get my Bible, of course, and I'm going to check and make sure everything's functioning properly. Well, it's been the past couple days, you never can tell, you know?
Right.
At least on my end. We appear to be all right on your page, I would hope. Let's see. Are we live on YouTube? We should be. We were live on YouTube last night when we weren't on Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, we all right. We all right. Let's see about Facebook. Where are we at? At least on my end. Okay, all praise to the Most High. I'm gonna direct people over towards your way, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Now, I do just want to say, if y'all have any questions or comments, get down into the comments section, and we'll check them out towards the end of the stream. And yeah, without any further ado, I'll let you go ahead and get started.
All right. Let's see. We'll start out as we're going to do every week, Lord's will. Isaiah 8 and 20. Or you can read 16, jump to 20. They kind of go hand in hand.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples.
Right, that's what we're here to do. Is give you the word and hopefully seal it in your mind if you want to be a disciple of the Lord. All right, and how do you know who to listen to and who not to listen to? In verse 20.
To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
There is no light in them. All right, and we know Proverbs 6 and 23. The law is light and commandment a lamp. All right. And also Psalms 111 verse 10. Or is it 110 verse 11?
As far as the light?
As far as understanding.
Oh, yeah, that's 111 and 10.
So first off, the Bible saying it's because there's no light in them. Use the precept, Proverbs 6 and 23. The law is light and the commandment a lamp. Alright, and how do you know someone has a good understanding of the laws? Alright, you go to Psalms 110 and verse 11.
111 and 10.
111 verse 10. My fault.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. We just read, if they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. They keep no commandments. They don't understand the Bible they say they preach out of. Okay? So, going from there. Alright, let's see here. We'll get Mark chapter 8 and touch on today's topic in denying ourselves. To deny yourself, just as Christ denied himself and drunk of that cup, even all of it. Alright? Everything the Lord had for him to do, even whenever he asked him, Lord, if there's any other way, just show it. No, there was no other way. It had to be that way. Same with us.
Right, but what did Christ say in a moment? I hope we get it later. But he said...
I would get it now if you want to.
Okay. I'll read this first, then we can go to that. Matthew 26 that you're making reference to. And Mark 8 and verse 34. And when he had called the people unto him, with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me.
All right. Let him deny himself, take up his cross, just as Christ did, and sacrificing himself to take up our cross, and follow me. All right. And we will get into taking up his cross. All right. And now you want to read that in Matthew 26 real quick?
Yes. Now which? Okay. So yeah, Matthew 26 and starting with verse 36, just to kind of get the context.
Yeah.
Then cometh Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. All right, so I just wanted to point out how Christ in this moment, a very human moment, all right, he does not want to die.
Right.
He does not want to die. So he's praying to the Lord, hey, I know that you have told me, you have shown me that I'm supposed to die tomorrow,
right,
but I don't want to, Lord. If there's any way, please let it go the other way.
Right.
And so that I can continue living.
Right, and helping.
Exactly. But he said, nevertheless, not what I want,
right,
what you want.
Right.
So, first of all, that shows that Jesus Christ and the Father are not the same.
Right.
Jesus Christ is not the Most High manifested. He is his Son.
Right.
All right. But every time Jesus Christ did do what the Father wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was no, I'm going to go out here and do my own thing. He denied himself.
Exactly. Denied himself. And every chance that the Lord got, what did he do? He made it known to all. This is my beloved Son,
That's right,
in whom I am well pleased. Going back to Sirach 19:19. For those who are denying eternal life out there. Apparently that's a thing now. All right.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
He always pleased the Father as he will, not as I will. And so he told him, come sit at my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. AKA mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Successful. Alright. Now then, let's see about denying ourselves. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Chapter 7.
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse, where do you want me to start?
Let's see. We're probably gonna read a good bit of this.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see. Speak on my God, let's see it said in wide verse. I guess you could start in the beginning.
Well, do you mean like literally verse 1, or what is in the beginning? What verse is that?
Here, just hear these words that I come and to tell thee. I guess verse 2.
Okay.
And then we'll read on down, and then we'll do some skipping.
Okay, I thought it was like literally a verse that started with in the beginning. Okay. 2nd Ezra 7, and you said verse 2?
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
Right. So he's saying there, all right, it's like a wide place that it might be deep and great. All right, talking about the kingdom of heaven. But put the case the entrance were narrow. So he's saying, but in this case, the instance is narrow and like a river. All right? Who's going to be able to go into it and rule it? All right? Who can conquer that thing? All right? Who can make it through the entrance without going through the entrance thereof? All right? Because how has Edom done everything? Or how has those who ruled the planet all this time done it? All right? Through violence and covetousness. All right? This one is not going to be had that way.
Right.
All right?
There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
Right. A city is builded, set upon a broad field. That goes back to what it was saying in verse 3. A wide place, that it might be deep and great. Alright. And it's full of all good things. Alright, go ahead.
The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
Right. Alright, so on one side you got fire. On the other side you got a deep water to drown. One to burn you, one to drown you. Both ending in death. To go to the right hand or to the left. Okay.
And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
Right. Meaning we all have to decide within ourselves that we know it's better to keep the commandments and do them. And do them. We not only got to acknowledge that and acknowledge our offense to the Lord, the way that we have lived up until now has been seeking death when we want life. Especially life eternal. You must go through that process. As Christ says, you got to be as a little child to receive it as a child. Alright, that knows nothing, that's ready to be filled as a sponge. Alright, and you have to teach them everything. They start out repeating everything you say as they are learning. Okay? And this is saying it's only one way for you to get it. It's only, the entrance thereof is narrow, it's easy to go to the left or to the right. This way is not easy at all, and we all have to do it one at a time, because we can't keep the commandments for one another. Me keeping commandments is only covering me. Each of us have to keep the commandments for ourselves. Another part of the scriptures calls that having oil in your lamp when Christ arrives.
Right. Or as Paul said, working out your own salvation.
There you go. Alright.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Right. The Lord is saying, if I don't allow you to live and find me in this world of wickedness, you are definitely not going to be prepared to rule it in righteousness.
That's right.
Alright, same as Moses growing up. Where did he grow up? In the royal family of Egypt.
That's right.
Who were all occultists. Alright, like they do today and rule today through Freemasonry and certain secret societies. The ancient mysteries. That's literally written on the head of the whore in Revelation 17. Goes all the way back to that time. Alright, and it's another perspective I heard this week. The Lord had him raised up knowing all that, so he knew exactly what he was going against.
Yeah.
Alright? So the Lord's saying, you got to know your enemy and able to defeat your enemy. Alright? Which is ultimately sin. That's why we're born in this wicked place with a wicked heart.
That's right. And going back to Moses and Pharaoh, because I was reading Romans 9 earlier this week. And I listen to, occasionally, I'll listen to this track from, what was that movie? The Prince of Egypt soundtrack?
Yeah.
That was about Moses and the Exodus, basically. Mm-hmm. And this track is called, The Plagues?
Yeah.
And it's basically, this track is about, Moses versus Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
I'll just bring that up to say this, as far as Moses and Pharaoh grew up in the same house as brothers.
Right.
Basically.
They were brothers.
And Romans 9 talks about how God chose one for mercy, which
Yep.
was Moses,
Mhm.
and chose one for wrath,
Wrath.
which was
Exactly.
Pharaoh. He hardened his heart.
Mm-hmm.
He made it specifically to where Pharaoh would not hear Moses.
Exactly.
So that God could make his power known.
Exactly.
So,
Same cycle as today.
right.
Just
So,
put 2 and 2 together.
yeah, to bring it back to the point that you made, he brought up Moses in this same environment as this guy who was the enemy of God,
Exactly. Straight up.
so that Moses would know how to be a good judge.
Exactly.
Same as us now. So
Yes.
that we go through what we go through now, so that Lord's will, we make it to the kingdom.
Right.
We will know how to be a good judge of
Right.
the people.
And like it says in the scripture, and we will remember it as a bad dream, but still the memories remain to know. All right? That's what it's saying right here. How could you, if a city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, something for him to inherit and take over once his father allows it or dies in this flesh life, okay? All right? If he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And you're not going to get something that the Lord will allow you to just let go into ruin. Alright, as he has done with the worldly empires each and every time. He lets them rule it the way they think they should rule it. Every time it falls to destruction. Every single time. And the exact same thing would happen in the kingdom of heaven if he allowed someone to get it without passing the dangers thereof first. And he's never going to allow that. Alright.
And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Right. This is our portion in this life. This is the inheritance we've got from the Lord. To go through this punishment because of the way we treated his inheritance the first go round. And then the second go round. Alright, first go round being in the garden. Second go round being when David and Solomon ruled the earth with Israel. As Israel. The real ones. And still again, yet and still, we sought death. Not only for ourselves, but for our kingdom. And it brought it to pass. Each time. Lord's will, the third time will be a charm. Alright?
Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done.
Right. That's when it was said, okay, bet. It wasn't good enough for me to just instill righteousness in you. Now y'all got to go through the process of sweating and sorrow to find out we had it made to begin with. If we had only stuck with righteousness, we wouldn't have to go through all the dangers set before the entrance thereof. But thus is our portion. The Lord don't want some subservient, mindless, robotic army.
Yeah, see, the crazy thing about that is, like, he's got that with his heavenly host.
There you go.
That's not what he wants from us.
Not at all.
He wants us to be better than that. He wants us to
Exactly.
serve him willingly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the command of spirits, angels. He's got all that already.
Exactly.
So, for us, it really shows how special and unique he's made us in that we have to go through these things,
Exactly.
right? Because you had mentioned that if you just leave an inheritance to somebody and they don't appreciate it,
Right.
like you always see that whether it be with companies or
Yeah.
homes or money, whatever the case may be,
lands,
lands. If you just leave it to somebody who doesn't appreciate it, they squander it.
Every time.
They just squander it. So that's
Thus is the flesh.
that's, and this is why eternal life is so important.
There you go.
Because you like what you said earlier, God is not going to leave his kingdom in the hands of people who don't know what it was like to not have his kingdom.
Exactly. To and have a possibility to take on the mindset of leading to squander.
Right.
That's not something that he's going to allow to happen for his city built on a hill.
Right. In other words, we have to earn it.
Right.
So that we'll appreciate it.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, let's see.
Verse 12?
Yeah.
Or you want me to jump down?
Yeah, you can read 12 and yeah, read 12 and 13 and then we'll probably jump.
Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit.
All right, like we were saying, when Adam and Eve in the garden, the Lord breathed the breath of life into them, instilled and taught them all righteousness. All right, and that was not good enough. All right, she saw the one tree, the knowledge of good and evil. All right, the temptation thereof is what she fell to. All right, and being tempted of her own lust and wanting to teach her husband something instead of always having to learn from him. All right, but that's another lesson for another day. All right, you can read 14 because that proves the point we was just saying.
If then they that live labor not to enter into, If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
Right. If you don't go through this part, this bad part, this terrible part, you'll never have the appreciation that is needed to rule the kingdom for eternity. All right. Let's see. You want to read 17 and 18?
Yeah. Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things and yet shall not see the wide.
Right. And Sirach, it says, live accursed unto death. All right, it's another way to say that. All right, because that's also seeking death in the air of your life, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 12.
Yeah.
All right, and that's living under the curses until sin is finished, which is death.
Yeah. Pain and travail come upon all that come from Adam.
Yep.
But sevenfold more upon sinners.
Sinners, exactly. All right, he said, let's see. We'll jump on down, or maybe you just read through 25, and then we'll jump to the 50s.
Okay. And he said unto me, there is no judge above God, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
All right, read that one again.
For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
Right. Exactly like we just mentioned, Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 12, that says, seek not death in the air of your life. Alright, and that's doing certain things such as killing with the sword while you're living in sin, and then bam, before you know it, you reap what you sow and you're dead.
That's right.
Alright, because playing with sin always eventually leads to death.
That's right.
The bigger the sin, the quicker the death. That's how that works. Although the Lord's not going to hold any of them to none account. You're going to have to answer for all of them. They all come with consequences. Some just bring death quicker. Alright, that's all there is to that. Alright, and 21.
For God hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
Right, meaning he spelled it all out plainly and in English. The same language we all speak and should be able to read. I ain't gonna say we can all read, because there's some that's old who can't read. Much less the younger ones can't read. Alright. But he's given us straight commandment down to how you think, how you speak, what you eat, when to eat, how much to eat, when to gather, what days to celebrate, what days not to celebrate. Any question we may come across or have, it is all written thereof. Alright, it's up to us to seek it out. Alright.
Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
Right. Imagine that they could do these things and get away with them. Imagine that they could do these things and not have to die. They imagine, oh, he ain't going to hold this one against me, not that much. All right, and wanted to accomplish these things without doing it the way he said you must do it. Wanting to have your cake and eat it too. That's the old worldly saying. All right, verse 23.
And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds.
Right.
And said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
Right, just as the wicked. Like it says in Psalms 10 and verse 5. Let's get that real quick. You've tricked yourself out of your position. As they say.
Is that Psalms 10 and verse 5?
Verse 4.
Okay. The book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
Right. All right, through the pride of his countenance. Okay, the way that he thinks, even down to the look on his face, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Right. Yeah, we'll just leave it there because there's a lot there in 10 that's certainly about today and those of today. All right, he knew not his ways. All right, to think thereof, to trick yourself into thinking that the Lord is not omnipotent is only deceiving yourself. All right, verse 24.
But his law have they despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful and have not performed his works.
Right. All right, but his law, which goes back to spirit and life, okay, have they despised. They hate what it takes to live. They hate to do what it takes to live. All right? And denied his covenants. They act like they didn't make that promise. Back in Joshua, the 24th chapter. No, we will serve the Lord. All right, and that goes back to verse 22. But spake against him and imagined vain things like they did not say with their own mouth and lips. We will serve the Lord. All right? And that's why all the judgments and the curses and everything come to us first now. Is because we're the ones who said this to the Lord. All right, we're the only people that made this certain special deal with him. And so now, when we imagine these vain things and we think we ain't got to deal with him, of course, he brings the curses, wickedness, and much more upon us. All right, trying to get us to what? Bethink ourselves. Remember who you are and what you said. All right.
And therefore, Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things.
All right, that goes into what Christ said. He who hath, to him shall be given. And him who hath little shall be taken away.
Even that little that he hath.
Right. All right. That goes into the old, to your righteous acts, to your, not only in keeping the law and showing the Lord you love him and his law, but also your people, one another. Love thy neighbor as thyself. All right. Let's see. Now we can jump down to verse 42 through 45. I'll read that.
2 Ezra 7 and verse 42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past.
All right. And I'll read verse 41 real quick. Oh. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up and wickedness increased. We see it now each and every day with the dragon opening his mouth with his media. You see nothing but wickedness, corruption, lies, the robbing of the poor to give to the rich. It's wicked corruption at its finest. All right. And the righteous have prayed for the ungodly. Wherefore shall it not be so now also? All right. But yet we still pray for these wicked people who choose death, who will kill us in choosing death. Alright? Alright, that's what it's saying right here. We pray for the weak. Alright, by saying, this definitely ain't the last of living. Alright, there's going to be a time to come where you have to answer for the way that you lived under the law of liberty. Without Christ literally standing up and sitting beside the Lord and coming down here to enforce whatever he wanted to. Alright.
Intemperancy is at an end. Infidelity is cut off. Righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up.
Right. Intemperancy. Will you get that definition for me, bro?
Yeah, I mean it's the lack of
infidelity. Right, I know. We know. But like we talk about all the time, our viewers. And also infidelity afterwards.
Intemperancy. So it's not showing intemperancy, but intemperance.
What's that definition?
So for intemperance, you want me to show it or you just want me to say it?
Yeah, you can show it.
I'll let y'all see this here. Alright. It's intemperance. Lack of moderation or restraint.
The lack of moderation. So the excess that the world that now rules has indulged and ruled in for so long will not be a thing anymore.
Let me just point out some of these synonyms, because I like going to the synonyms kind of help us explain. Overindulgence.
Right.
Overconsumption.
There you go.
Immoderation. Excess.
There.
Extravagance.
Right.
And get to these last few. Self-indulgence.
There you go.
Self-gratification. Debauchery and decadence.
Perfect synonyms and descriptions of the Babylon the Great. America today.
Right, but like self-indulgence and self-gratification, the exact opposite of what Christ said about denying
Deny yourself, exactly. Yep, we are heading back there.
But you said infidelity, right?
Right. So the act of those not denying themselves is at an end. According to verse 44, when the Christ shall come. Like I said in verse 43, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. Alright, what's coming to an end?
Alright, infidelity says the action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other sexual partner. And then the second definition is unbelief.
Right.
In a particular religion, especially Christianity.
Right. Alright, to not follow the Most High God and His laws.
So some synonyms: adultery, disloyalty, treachery,
Right.
double dealing.
Right, there you go.
Deceit.
That's the land of double dealing.
Cheating.
Right. All the ways of Babylon the Great.
Fornication.
When the wicked are exalted, the vilest of men are on all sides.
Did you say another one, or is that the only one?
No, it's just intemperancy and infidelity. And then righteousness. Alright, His commandments are righteousness, according to Psalms 119, 172, Deuteronomy 6 and 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all thy laws, statutes, and commandments that you have commanded before us this day. Alright, so 119, 172. Alright, and truth is sprung up. Alright, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Alright, Christ said He was the way. That's the way we are to live to make it through the entrance, the narrow entrance. The truth is impossible for Him to lie. He couldn't even if He wanted to. Alright? And the light, the law, the commandment. Alright? And then verse 45.
Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory.
Right. There's going to be no more oppression. Once again, how the kingdoms of the world, going back to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, the statue Nebuchadnezzar dreamed, that was destroyed by the rock. All have ruled through oppression and by violence. And the threat thereof. No more is that how someone is going to rule ever again. Alright, let's see.
I do just want to point out in verse 44, as far as intemeracy is at an end, infidelity is cut off. The people are getting tired of wickedness.
Exactly.
People are getting tired of wickedness, and it said the truth is sprung up, righteousness is grown.
Exactly.
This word is going out.
Yep.
And they can't stop it. They may want to, they may try to, but they can't stop this word getting out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over the world at this point.
Yep.
All right, the truth has grown up.
The people all over, like the Lord is making them choose between going with these wicked lying demons who's doing blatant satanic rituals in front of our face, or stand on the side of righteousness and truth.
That's right.
Because all they do is lie. So you're either going to point out their hypocrisy and lies, or you're going to go along with it to receive of whatever they receive, or stand for the Lord. Stand for truth, righteousness. Alright? Like I said, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed. Alright, when you do achieve that reward or punishment that you earn through this life, there is no reversing or appealing the judgment rendered. Alright, let's see. Now we'll jump down to maybe 50, 51 maybe. And then read on, well, 53. Where I got it highlighted.
Okay. 2 Ezra 7 and verse 53. And that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, sith we shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
Right. Alright, let's see. If he be overcome, he shall separate. Alright, and keep on reading on down to 60.
Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, Choose thee life, that thou mayest live.
Right. Choose thee life, that thou mayest live, like he's saying. This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Alright? Going into denying yourself, fighting your fleshly urges. Alright, the lust thereof. Let's get that. Why trimmest thou thy way for love? In Isaiah. Because this is where so many of our people err in wanting to please others over pleasing the Most High. Like, whatever you get out of pleasing someone else is going to ever equate or equivalent to what you can get out of pleasing the Most High God. Alright? And yes, we all have our ways where we fall short and battle. But damn it, some of them are a lot more controllable than others. And the ones that are more controllable, we gotta get them down first. Got to. The ones that are easy to get down. Maybe not easy for everyone, but those that it is easy for, rally together and help those that's not so easy for them. But this is definitely should be one that at least helps us start be thinking ourselves. Come on now.
In Jeremiah 2 and 33.
Yeah.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Right. All right, he's saying, why do you trim your ways, meaning the ways that he has taught us to live, to seek love, all right? Not do exactly as he has commanded us to do, to seek the affection of someone else. All right? Therefore, because you've done that and not been mindful of who's watching, who's listening, who's taking note of what you're doing, therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Okay, so now, what's that going into? All right, therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Now your enemy knows how to get at you. Now your enemy knows how to compromise you.
Right. And not only that, but the people who look at you as an example, if they see that you're not taking this seriously, then they're not going to take it seriously.
Not at all.
They say, oh, I can just keep doing whatever I'm doing, because that's what they're doing, and they're supposed to be righteous.
Right. They're the ones teaching me the Bible. So if that's what they're doing, I can definitely do it. Absolutely. All right. God's curse has found the blood of the souls of the poor and innocent. Yeah, I found not in my secret search, but upon all these. Yeah.
So I didn't read through 60 and 2 Ezra 7. You want me to go there?
Yeah.
2 Ezra 7 and starting with 59 again. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live.
Right.
Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken unto them.
Right.
All right, so they didn't believe, the people didn't believe Moses. They didn't believe the prophets. They're not going to believe us when we try to tell them that, hey, you got to keep these commandments. You got to come out of the sins that you're in. Here's how you apply the commandments of God. I mean, there's just a lot of people that's not going to believe. It is what it is.
Right. And the Lord has it that way for a reason. For many are called, but few are chosen.
That's right.
Very few that he's made of all men. All right. Can he choose to rule in his city built upon a hill? All right. There's very few that will appreciate it to the point that he allows you to rule it.
Yeah, very few. Very few. As I was reading, because I told you I read Romans 9 the other day.
Yeah.
It says, they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So even among the Israelites, it's a smaller number than all the quote unquote children of God. Exactly. The children of the flesh are not the children of God. Right? So even among the Israelites, there's children of the flesh.
Right.
So that window just gets narrower and narrower when you're looking for like who's actually going to listen and believe.
Right. That entrance thereof.
Yeah. That's right.
Continues to decrease and decrease the more that you see others, the teachers, those who trim their ways for love. No matter what love that comes from or who that comes from, it's some form of emotional affection, period. All right, and some kind of fleshly gratitude that comes from the same. All right, but reading on down in chapter 7. All right, let's see.
Verse 61.
Yeah.
That there should not be such heaviness in their destruction as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. I answered then and said, I know, Lord, that the Most High is called merciful, in that he hath mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and upon those also that turn to his law.
Right. And that, read 64.
And that he is patient and long suffered those that have sinned as his creatures.
And that he is patient and long suffered those that have sinned as his creatures. All right, they're still his, but he's suffering us through this time. All right, and now read 69 and 70.
And being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word.
How are they cured?
With his word.
All right, that lets you know right there. If you put that with Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, the 38th chapter, you know that how sickness comes in life is through the breaking of the commandments. Alright? And it's telling you right here how all things are cured in men. Alright? With His Word. Alright? And you read on down.
And put out the multitude of contentions.
Right? Or contempts. Is what it says out to the side. Meaning those that have a problem with the way that He's intended it to go. Alright? Any of those who's not content in whatever role or position that He has you. Bam, getting put out again. Like intemperancy and infidelity. Alright?
There should be very few left, peradventure, in an innumerable multitude.
Right. Alright, so in the way that the Lord is going to get those that He needs to get, the 144,000, the 1/3, the 1/10 of all, alright, He had to have an innumerable multitude. Because it's so few amongst so many. He had to have all the time that we've had in this planet up to now to get those He's seeking. Alright, He also designed it that way and set it up that way. But still, nonetheless. Alright, and then now, read 8 and 3 right there.
There be many created, but few shall be saved.
Bam. Exactly as we were just saying. Alright, through this whole chapter. And also going into how those that are saved earn and get that salvation. Alright, it's only one way. And it's Proverbs 7 and 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 2. Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of thine eye.
Right, your favorite thing to see. Alright, keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Alright, you can read on down to verse 5.
Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thy heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman.
Right, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Why? Verse 5.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
Right. And through flattery. I've come to realize that over the last couple of weeks. That's how most deception is achieved. Through flattery. That's how guards are let down. That's how trust is formed. It's through the deceitful, flattering words and titles. That's what gives deceivers certain credibility in our eyes. When they flatter us. Alright, and it's saying, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister. Alright, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Proverbs 8 and 13 tells you.
Proverbs 8 and verse 13, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate.
Right. Alright. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. To hate the evil way. Alright. And all the things that pertain and follow that. Okay. And thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. We read to start out the lesson. What and how you achieve understanding. The more laws you keep, the more understanding you gain. Alright? That they may keep thee from the strange woman. Alright? That's 9 times out of 10. That's how those in this earth are compromised. Just looking to Cash Patel. That's the most recent classic example of Mossad sending a woman to compromise a man into doing things he would have never done before that woman entered his life. Alright? And the stranger, someone you don't know, man or female, to teach you something 9 times out of 10, which flattereth with her words. Alright. Talking about the strange woman and the stranger, which may flatter with their words. Alright. Now we can go to oh yeah, what's something. Oh yeah. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. The simplicity, like we just read in 2 Ezra 7. Alright, the Lord has given straight commandments. Alright? And He said don't go to the right or to the left. It's also, it says it in Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, and also in Deuteronomy. It says, what was I going to say? To not go to the right hand or to the left. Oh yeah, don't be presumptuous. Don't presume. Don't assume things thinking you know. That's where we err a lot in this life. In assuming things to be true that we did not read directly. Assuming ways that we could serve the Lord or others that we did not read directly. To be presumptuous. It says be presumptuous no more. Alright?
You said 2 Corinthians 10 and 3?
No, 11 and 3.
Okay. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ.
Right. Alright, same as Eve was able to be deceived when she didn't have her mind right, and the simplicity thereof, to make wisdom thy sister, understanding thy kinswoman. Alright, and then read on down. Verse 4.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Right. And try to get him to see where he is wrong. Alright, might well bear with him. Alright, or at least try to help him if he's willing to be helped. But first, you must not be in a position to be deceived yourself into thinking that someone who is here to teach you something. If your mind's right going in, the Lord will use you to help that person in that situation. If your mind's not right going in, now Satan has used that person to deceive you and get you off the path of serving the Lord. But it starts with us and our mind, and whether or not we deny ourselves or we give in to ourselves, whether that be fleshly wants or our own thoughts that we have not been reborn from. And it's simple. That is in Christ. He said, receive my word as a little child. Don't come to seek me thinking you know me or anything about me. Read the straight commandments I have given. Don't go to the right hand or the left or presume anything. Like we have went over today, every single question one could have in this life is answered in this word. Much less how the Lord wants to be served. That's it. Alright? Yeah, the entrance thereof is narrow and one can only go at a time. But it's literally spelled out word for word how to do it. It's just on us, as James says, to not be a hearer only, but a doer. That's how you get justified. Alright, we can read that also real quick. James, 2nd chapter. Let's see. Yeah, verse 24.
2 and 24. Excuse me. Book of James, chapter 2 and verse 24. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only.
Right. You see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. But you must have faith. And like we read last week in Hebrews, faith is evidence. Evidence has substance.
That's right.
You can't present evidence in court and not have nothing but a thought. That's not evidence. That's an opinion. That's hearsay. That don't count. You must have evidence. Alright? The evidence is the works. Like Christ said, if you love me, keep my commandments. You say you love me. What commandments are you keeping? And, yeah. I guess we could leave it there. Oh, wait, we'll get this right here. In James chapter 1, verse, you start with 25.
I like 22.
Okay, read 22.
All right. James 1 and verse 22. But be ye doers of the word.
All right, hang on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're 4. Then be swift to here. Okay, yeah. Start with 17 and read down. Finish it out.
All right. James 1 and verse 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and coming down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Of his...
no variableness, neither shadow of turning. All right, precept really quick. Malachi 3 and 6. All right. It's not going to be, you're not going to learn one thing about the Lord and then you get to him, he said, well, it's a different thing now. Oh, it's something different now. Oh, it's changed. What do they say? When new facts come out, my opinions change. That's the classic line in Edom media. And for somebody to not be foolish in their eyes, they say. When the facts change, their opinions change.
In Malachi 3 and verse 6, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
Right. That's why we're still here now today. Because if it was up to our enemies that rule us, we would all have been dead long ago.
Right. And if God changed his mind as far as his covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob,
right,
he would have killed all the Israelites in the wilderness.
Exactly. Or hearken unto Moses.
Yeah.
Them times where he was completely justified in murdering all of us. But Moses said, Lord, they'll say of you, you brought this people out of Egypt just to kill them in the wilderness. You're going to hurt your name if you do that.
Right. He kept his covenant to 1,000 generations.
That's it. All right, now back here in James 1.
James 1 and 17 again. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and coming down from the Father of lights, excuse me, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Of his own will begat he us, with the word of truth,
right,
that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures.
That's heavy right there. It says, of his own will. What did Christ say? I don't do my will, but
Thy
yours.
will. That's right.
All right. Begat he us with the word of truth. John 1 and 1. In the beginning was the word, and by the word all things were made.
As you made reference to earlier, he said, I am the way, the truth,
and the light. Exactly. All right. So, the Lord, of his own will, begat a certain breed of people. All right. Using his son, which is literally the word of truth, the way, the truth, and the light. My words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life. All right. That's how he made us, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures.
And just in case people don't know who he's talking to here, in James 1 and 1, he said, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
Right.
It's clearly, he said, I'm only speaking to the Israelites here.
Right.
Scattered abroad.
Tribes, scattered.
Yeah. I love James because he's so clear about it. There's not even no question what he's talking about.
Exactly. It's so plain to understand.
Right. Verse 18, of his own will begat he us, with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
Right. One that has wrath within them, much less is moving on that wrath. It is impossible for you to work the righteousness of God. Alright, because he literally tells us to be not as one that striketh with our hands, or a brawler. Alright, when you're not able to control your emotions to the point where you got to lay hands on someone, you're doing the opposite of representing God. Alright.
Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls.
Right. The engrafted word which is able to save your souls. Receive with meekness, with the spirit of obedience, ready to serve. Like it says, let's be swift to hear, quick to shut up, thinking we know what we need to say, we know what needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. Alright? Be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Like I said back in Ezra's, intemperancy will be put out. Literally, to be temperate is to be slow to wrath with patience. Okay?
Right, that's why they say if you got wrath, you've got problems with wrath, you got anger issues, they say you got a temper. You got a short temper.
Yeah.
Right? The opposite of that,
temper.
The opposite of that is to have temperance.
Right.
Have your temper under control.
Right. And not be led by emotions to where stuff someone could say to you is going to get you to act out of the way we've been commanded. Alright? We gotta have more control of our members than that, at least. Alright?
But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Right. We deceive ourselves if we just hear the word and know the truth and do not do it. We deceive our own selves. And it's also a harsher punishment for those that know and do not. Alright?
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the word, this man shall be blessed in his deed.
Right. Alright, and that goes into Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And the Lord will begin blessing you immediately. And I think it's in Mark, where we read recently. If not Mark, it's in Matthew. That you will not only receive benefits in this life, but the one to come.
That's right.
All right, the Lord is more than willing and ready to give you a blessing right now, today. All right, you ain't got to wait to receive eternal life before you begin getting blessings. The Lord is ready to bless and make you prosper today, tonight, whenever you start filling your lamp with oil, aka keeping His commandments, having more commandments kept than commandments broken.
So as we was talking about earlier, as far as like many called but few chosen, right? There's only few that's going to serve God. So imagine how happy He is to see the few serving Him. Of course, He's going to bless them.
Right. He's ready to bless you abundantly.
Right, because he's the God, the Creator of all things. Right. He created all things. He has all power. Right. He's omnipotent.
Seeing all and hearing all.
So
all
He
time.
could bless everybody with everything
at all times.
But there's people who don't deserve it, so He's withholding it from them. He's withholding all these blessings. He's ready to give them to whoever's willing to serve Him.
Exactly. And He's especially those among Israel. Because He said, I made all of this for you for this very reason.
That's right.
And to give it to you. So man, has He waited so ever long for us to begin acting right, so He can give us what He made for us in the beginning.
And it's because what you just said is just it's resonating with me and whatnot. God give us the instruction manual.
Yeah.
Right? He's told us from the beginning until here at the end of the book, James at the end of the book, saying, hey, keep the commandments, keep the perfect law of liberty, and you'll be blessed in your deed. Right? So it's like somebody who made a car, right? Somebody who made like a Mercedes or whatever, seeing how somebody is taking the key and like trying to put it in the gas tank.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're doing it all wrong.
Right.
You're expecting
the rim, all kinds of stuff.
You're expecting this to work for you. I mean, you try to put it in the exhaust pipe. You try to put it in the in the window
through the sunroof.
It's not working for you.
Car won't crank.
He's sitting here looking like, why aren't they doing it the way I said to do it?
You're right.
It would work for them if they did.
All they had to do is read the first few lines of the manual, and you'd be rolling down the street, cruising,
right.
looking good.
We'd be going.
Right. But instead, we're trying to get this car cranked. And we refuse to read the very simple instructions that says how to crank, operate, maneuver, fix. Whatever you got to do to the car, it's all in here.
Right.
But no, we got it. Presumptuous as ever.
And the person who don't know how to crank is sitting over here like, I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. No, don't tell me. I got it. And there you go.
Then get mad at you for saying, hey, put it in the ignition.
Ignition, exactly. Who are you to tell me what to do with my key on my car? Unfortunately, that's how a lot of Israel receives the word.
They say, I've been living here for 45 years doing it exactly the same way.
Right.
I think I got it.
Right, who the hell are you?
Meanwhile, doing it wrong the whole time.
Right, and their lives shit. Right, they went through some of the most terrible things.
Right.
But no, they got it all figured out.
Oh, good Lord.
Right.
Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Right, that goes back to what it said up there in verse 22. About deceiving your own selves. If you don't know how to bridle your tongue, have discretion to know when to say what and when not to say what, then whatever religion you think you're caught up in is vain. It's not real. There's no substance to it. Alright, you're definitely not serving God. Alright, this is great for Christians today. Alright? Because that's not even the thing that they teach much let's talk about anymore. It's bridling their tongue. Look at their leader. Mr. Christian Zionist.
Oh, man.
He knows all about bridling his tongue now, don't he? Alright, verse 27.
Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Right. And how does one do that? Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. Or 12 and 13. Then we can get Matthew 26. The conclusion of the matter, as James said, to visit the fatherless and the widow, fatherless being Israel, our father was killed with Christ, boom. The widow being the bride, to meet the groom being Christ, alright, is Israel. To visit Israel in their affliction, alright, when we're in our sin, under these curses, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Alright, to go to them when they're under the curses because they're not keeping commandments and teach them the commandments. And to make sure you don't start doing things they do in the world, taking pleasure in what those in the world take pleasure in. As it says in Sirach, the 9th chapter. Alright,
Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Right. It's the whole duty of man. It's to fear God, like we read in Proverbs 8:13. Is to hate the evil way, the abomination, the profane, the proud tongue, the profane lips. Alright. And keep his commandments. Period. Do what this book says. For this is the whole duty of man. Alright, 14.
For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
The Lord is going to either reward you or punish you for each and everything you've done and said. Period. Whether it be good or whether it be evil. And it's up to, like it said in Esdras, one man can go at a time. Only one can go at a time. We all have to work out our own salvation. That's not separate yourselves as those sensual, having not the Spirit, but that is to know thyself, to examine thyself, to know where you're strong, where you're weak, to defeat what keeps defeating you. Alright, it's on each and every one of us to apply what he says. Gather together, O nation not desired. Endeavor to keep the unity. Alright, willing to communicate. We got to start leaning on each other more to help get through what we need to get through. It's another big thing we need to stress here. Alright, and with that, we can get Matthew 26.
Yeah, that may be next week's lesson, right?
Yeah, for sure. Big time.
About building together.
Yeah.
Matthew 26, start with verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her.
Hey, all praises for the sister doing that for Christ. All praises we made it through another Sabbath. Lord's will, we do better and more righteousness this week than we did last. And with that we say shalom, happy Sabbath, and let God be magnified.
Shalom. Happy Sabbath, and let God be magnified. Let me